Welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase. We have completed all of our SpaceX Extreme research. You can see the last bit there, 8 million research all done. We are working on the final two components, the fusion reactor and the FTL drive. At the moment we are concentrating on the fusion reactor. I don't think we have quite built one yet. They are pretty expensive. Actually, that can go because that's not what that is anymore. That should be showing fusion reactors. And we have one built. We have one built. So that means 24 left to go. They're about 400,000 processing units each, which is why we are burning through processing units at a ridiculous rate, and our production is slowly ramping up. We're at 13,000 a minute. This will get over 20,000 by the time it hits maximum capability. But meanwhile, we're enjoying improved UPS for a change. Now, the final component has a ton of modules, so that is why we are here, so that we can expand down into this area and build another copper stack and probably another definitely another green circuit stack. And we will be building another red circuit stack in here as well. In fact, it may be that we build the green circuit stack in here, I'm not sure. Not sure at this moment, but we definitely want to open up this whole area, so I'm going to change this corner section into a where's my so-called good rail, into a four-way junction like so. And so to do that, we first of all need to remove all of those signals. Probably help if I put my bots back in so I can get on with the job. And we are going to, I guess I'm going to have to take that one out. Cut across there. And place that new, oops. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I've lined this up especially well. But not to worry, we can fix up the bits that aren't particularly well lined up. And we're going to have to fix up the signaling because, ooh, that's nasty. Because, well, we will have to. Right here, of course, is a prime example of where it's broken. So that would fix up that piece. And here as well, it's broken. I think that results in everything working correctly. Looks like rail wagons can get around that corner, so that's excellent. Whoops, jump on board. Ooh, let's just wait for this one because I know they don't wait for me. You'd think they would. Oh, that one is waiting, good. So we can get past there and start laying some 4x4 rail. Now there's, oh gee, there is something flashing up here. We probably don't need that, and interesting. there are probably too many of those, and this one can probably move down to, say, here. Be a little bit more useful. That one probably serves no real purpose. And that's covered. Okay, that should be fine. So what we're going to need to do to get this up and running is we're going to need to basically fill in like all of this water feature. It's not serving a useful purpose, and it would be a good place to place our new stack, or probably even over here will be actually where the stack ends up. So I mean, a copper stack here and a green circuit stack on the other side could actually work quite well. But if we're going to get to that point, we obviously need some rail, but not rail that's put in as poorly as that. Let's do that again. Jump on board. I should really swap out my armor at this point to the one that has more fusion reactors. In fact, let's do that. Would probably actually help to engage a little bit of Invini zoom as well, just to get a slightly better angle at what we are making our way through. It's probably costing us a little bit on the UPS. But we'll cope. I guess I'm probably at the moment, at the moment I am needing to get some more rail. I'm probably trying to get to a water body. Mucked that up again. I'm probably trying to get to a water body so that we can then bring out the landfill train, because you know how much I just love doing landfill, and I haven't done any for so long that I thought I'd give myself a whole lot more landfill to do. And if it's not obvious that I'm being sarcastic, then the next base I build, especially Gigabase, is going to be a no water base, just water in the starting area, and I'm going to use the water fill mod from the start, but I won't be doing biters, so that's why that's acceptable behavior, I guess. Oops. Because really the water fill type mods are only really an issue if you have biters, as far as, you know, being fair and reasonable. It's the fact that you can do very cheaty things to contain biters that is what people are actually objecting to. Let us put a train stop down. Oh, we don't want to, mind you, a subscriber train stop, whoops, would be okay, but let's get a normal one. I forget that I had the difference for a second. This can be landfill New Southwest West, yeah, copper. Just a short name, and we will run over to where we have our landfill train that hasn't been used for a while. This patch still has 46 million in it. You are now going to go to landfill New Southwest Copper until inventory empty on your bike, and we will have to provide it a means to get out, which is probably just up here. Not entirely sure. Guess I'll check that when it comes through. But otherwise, the next step here is to go aggressive with landfill, and then we'll start planning where we're going to put things. The landfill part is probably on the tedious side for me, but also for you, so I will cut the video at this point. Is this our landfill train on its way? No, it is not. Let me just see where our landfill train is up to. I got stuck at that intersection. That's okay. Let's have a look at production before we pause. It looks like green processing units is actually tailed off slightly for some reason. Why would that be? We seem to have some sort of traffic jam here. You are trying to go up there, and you're trying to go out there, so this here is causing a traffic jam. Great. Or not so great, depending on your point of view. Alright, well I better resolve that, so how about I jump on board. This bit's nice and safe. Let's see if we can get straight through. Head to silo. New rail just about always has some level of signalling issue. Which I guess is why some people like to have perfectly crafted rail blueprints to start with, but that's not always exactly the answer when you're fitting whatever it is into a kind of real life situation. I have the wrong configuration in to deal with this in a prompt manner. They're still ordering far too many green circuit trains though. Right, these here are the problem right there. Now this one needs to back out. Hopefully we don't crash into anything, and we can resume going automatic. It shouldn't go down there this time, it should wait. All the rest of this traffic should get through just fine. I'll get to this side. Maybe I should run to the silo. Oh, it's already up there. Okay. They're resolved, so that should boost up our production again fairly soon, one would hope, one would think. We're still burning at an incredible, insane kind of rate. Back to 10k processing units a minute. I can't imagine it staying at such relatively low numbers for very long. Manual. Anyway, I showed you fixing up that screw up. I will get down to hopefully where the that guy wasn't going to stop, was he? Hopefully where the action is happening with the landfill train, and rejoin you some significant time in the future when a whole lot of very boring landfill has been completed. So see you soon. And back. So I have laid, most of this is landfill. Now I've actually laid down the pattern for, well, I use this one because it's already in the condensed form, but of course this is iron, and we are going to need copper down here. And also this is wrapping around down here, it needs to come back over here. So the next thing that I am going to do is to lay some track back towards, well, back in that direction. We will need our good recipes for rail. It's basically that. Yes. That was not clever.
Anyway, it, like the, I don't know. Psycho, you're here. How you doing, buddy? Oh, I haven't given my video game geek thing.
Let's just get rid of that. So yeah, I had an incident, so that is why we are in armor that does not have the robo ports. So I should have another armor here somewhere that do have them. I can't for the life of me see it. Nope. Well, in that case, let's just lay down some track on the way back here. 4-way. So at least our time is being put to good use. And it looks like we're going to have to go back to engineering and pick up some. But that is okay, we can do that for sure. Not exactly sure what sort of intersection I want here. Something like that actually is not too terrible. In that case, yeah, that's better. Let's get the landfill train kinda out of here for the moment. Even possible that we're done with it for the moment. Move our engineering train out of the way. Actually, on the basis of how manual drive has worked out for me, I might just do that. so that engineering can potentially get out of here as well. Now let's get rid of all of them. And then place that, because that should be a lot more fruitful. What exactly? Oh, there's a light there. Alright, I guess in that case I'm going to have to send this one away, get rid of its extra stop, jump in here. We may as well go to engineering unload so we can reload. We are going to need some additional RoboPort items. Basically these things, we don't need 5, I think we need 3. And while we're on the way, let's have a look at our production numbers. 21 going on 22,000 processing units per minute. It's not as fast as we're burning them up, so obviously this rate is going to slow down sometime soon. 337,000 electronic circuits, which also is not quite as fast as we're burning them, so that's also going to have to slow down shortly. These other numbers are sort of well under control, sort of where you'd expect them to be given the productivity modules we have in effect, but that gives us some fairly staggering all times. 82 million processing units, possibly well on its way to 100 million. And yeah, these numbers are pretty large as well. If we keep this up for quite a while, and we will, because we'll be doing circuits, modules rather, after all these processing units, so we can probably easily expect that to get to 3 billion. And speaking of which, how many have we actually built so far? We only have 17 left at this point. We have built 8, so that's going pretty well, which is partly why I decided to get on with building the smelter. I don't actually have a supply stop here built in just yet, so we may need to extend this a little bit and build a supply stop somewhere here, and probably a fuel stop as well, and then we can get the rest of it built. But I think we have probably done enough for the moment, so I guess I will leave you with that update and rejoin you in a bit. See you soon. And welcome back. So, where are we up to? Well, for starters, we're cranking out the processing unit production. Obviously that requires quite a lot of green circuits. We're already up to 342,000 a minute. I haven't extended it yet, so that was all on the capability that we had in place beforehand. We are working on our what's the component called? These ones, the fusion reactor, and we're in the process of building a new copper stack right here, which will draw off various of these copper sources. So what we need to do is basically set up a supply stop here so that I can build this whole thing out. We have been using the engineering train to get some of the rail part of it down. All of this chunk is landfill. We'll probably need to landfill a bunch more of this so that I've got room over on this side for a super green circuit stack as well. But right at the moment, the first priority is to, well, clear some of these silly trees. And that will mean we'll need to throw some on this train, I think. Let's run back here. Just to give us a little bit of space. I don't know if I need all that landfill. I might even throw it on the train as well for now. And we need to lay down a 4 to 2. And that's it. Probably need to rip up the signals at that part. And try that again. 4 to 2. So this will be used for our supply stop and also for the fuel stop, because this will be another independent network. I don't actually know if there's anything that I want this carrying on for, this four lane from the main network carrying on for, but for now we'll have it continue up here just a little bit. We need to clear out all of that. More trees, that's another reason why we need this network built soonish. Let's just get a standard two-way section put in place. So that's where our existing stuff is. Supply, rubbish, engineering. There's not a lot of room just in there. We could do something like that, but that would kind of get in the way of the fuel stop, unless I have fuel sort of wrap round, which we could do. Maybe I'll make a T-junction here. A little two-way T-junction, like so, and then go back to our SRE, just stack it on top, like so. What are we missing here? A number of things. Most of that should be on the supply train. What have we got over here that's causing us issues? Not quite sure how that came about, or that for that matter. So the fuel train will just sort of cut in between the two sets of track there. This one can be called hashtag copper smelting 6, because that's what the stack will be called. Well, the stack will be called copper smelting 6, but this is hashtag copper smelting 6. And our engineering train is just down here. Let's bring it up to hashtag copper smelting 6. Circuit condition, come on up. So let's fill out what we need. We're going to need some wires because I didn't quite get that right. What else are we missing? We're missing yellow boxes. 2 yellow boxes. Well, let's get 5 of them just to be sure. We're still missing some. Alright, another 5. We are also missing blue boxes. And it looks like I have used them all up. In that case, we're not going to be able to finish this without another run back to base. So I guess I'll do that so I can finish this up. I'll take a quick cut and see you soon. And back. I've finished setting this all up. We are getting the signals that we should coming through as far as I can tell. So our next step is usually to, what's that? We don't need that. Make a blueprint of what we have got, either that or use the one that we actually used to slap this down in the first place, which is not that or that. In fact, why do I have that? That doesn't look like something I need right now. Nor does that. That in fact looks roughly like what we're after, except minus some of the rail. Only some. It's probably still worth ordering quite a lot of it. You can see there's some fairly significant requirements in there. Let's transfer it down to where was it? Is that it? Yeah, that looks like it. Let's put it down here so we can refer to it a little bit more easily. 7,500 rail. I might just cut that down to about 4,000 rail because I think I have already pre-delivered or used my engineering train for quite a bit of the rail. 5,000, we better make it 5,100 speed modules to be sure. And for the same reason, which is basically rounding, we'll make 2,600 beacons, because when it says that it's 25, it could be anything from 2500 to 2599, so to be sure we just need to round it up. So for the same reason, although I've already used some of the stack inserters, so maybe 1300 will be fine because I've supplied some from the engineering train, but we will get 1100 productivity, 1100 productivity modules. Now when we have the exact number we can use the exact number, although we've already put down some of those, but I'll get 850 anyway. And same with yellow and blue rather and red boxes, so 600 blue and let's just say 600 red. 504. Well, the problem with being that exact is there is a level of rounding, so that we can have multiple inserters inserting on the train, so it is possible that we won't actually get enough if we put the exact amount, especially for something that we don't carry on the engineering train usually. Signals are probably fine. Big poles, let's get 100. So have them on the engineering train, 24 substations. Maybe we'll just get 30. Oh, we're not going to need mining drills. 15 of those apparently. We're getting into the riffraff. I'm not going to bother too much with those other things. What I will bother though with is getting some logistic bots to help out. Maybe just 100 to help out here. So that has been sent to our supply over here. The supply train is starting to fill up. It will make as many trips as are necessary to deliver all of that to us. Why am I getting bleepies? Oh, I'm missing signals over there. Okay, I better get some of those signals onto off the engineering train. It looks like the passive chain signals. We're missing some chain signals. We better get those in so that the trains know what they're doing. Good. I've gone away. What else are we missing? Medium poles, apparently. Nowhere around here, so that should be fine. So yes, now it's just a wait for this this train to turn up. And lay this out. And I can start doing some more landfill on this side, which I might just do while I wait. So maybe another quick break while the supply train, oops, not that, it's already on its way. There still is quite a lot of stuff to load, so it's going to be more than one trip. That's fine. We don't need to sit here waiting for it. In fact, I might leave this stuff over here. Not that we run any faster without it, but if we don't need it, we don't need it, right? We do need those guys. No, we don't. We don't need those guys. Alright, I will see you soon, probably when the supply train has finished. Yeah. And back. And we are still part way through the full delivery, but we have finally got some speed modules. Actually, we don't have any prod modules yet, but possibly when they come, we should get what we need. One thing though, while I'm here, let's get this area set up correctly with our logistic bots. If we just put, say, at least 12 in there, they should start adding more to the rest and getting rid of our rubbish as well, so that's fantastic. With a bit of luck, they will... Oh, they've set themselves up, so that's fine. Okay, so what we need to do, basically, we know these are actually iron stacks. I need to set one up, I need to convert it to copper, and then maybe copy it up, or just change all of the boxes. So accordingly, what we'll aim to do is let us pick up some furnaces. Maybe, say, start with 100. Let's get some beacons down. Maybe 2, or even 300, which would mean we'd need about 600 of those. Oops, 600. I may as well order a little bit of rail. We will need, say, 200 of the boxes of each type, and a whole lot of inserters, quite possibly quite a lot of electric poles as well. Let's start with that. I also think we will need our fusion plant, which yes, they're in there. There they are. Let's keep the bots as fully charged as we can get them. So they should start. Oh, I need to be carrying bots for that to have any effect. That's fine. Construction bots. There we go. This time. So as we run backwards and forwards, it should build out things like the railway line here. I may not have gotten any big poles. Let's get some big poles for next time. Oh, and we're going to need these bots as well. Yes, that didn't take long to require all the bots to start charging, but never mind. of assistance. Wow, that certainly uses an awful lot of beacons, having these 12 beacon setups. Let's have a look how far away our train is. It's on the way again with another load. This is almost, probably actually is the final load, so that's awesome. Let's head back then. We can actually start finishing this whole setup at this point. I wouldn't mind getting those guys as well. It looks like we're going to need some more signals. I think I didn't actually order extra signals, so we can just steal them off this train or even out of here. Let's grab those two. Where's the train? Almost here. It's just coming along this bit here. There it is right there, just coming down here. Need to cover this in radars so we can see everything around this area, and the landfill train is still coming backwards and forwards so that we can fill out this area for our extra green circuit stack, which we'll get to right after this one. Production is still a fairly crazy 347,000 green circuits a minute, 22,000 production processing units a minute. But we are running out of time in terms of the these fusion reactors. We only have 13 more to build, so we're basically halfway. We've built 12. We're basically halfway. We're not halfway in terms of building all the stuff I wanted for the final push. So I guess some of that will have to happen while we are building the modules, but that is fine. Now we have the production modules here. That's excellent. Let's get a few, probably say... let's start with 800. Actually, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but never mind. Power on any of this yet. Oh, well, hopefully that will change soon. And yeah, I kind of just want this one side to be up and running. If we give it some power, we'll soon know if anything is missing modules, and then I just need to correct all of the requester chests so that it works for copper instead of for iron. Rinse and repeat. None of this is powered, so let's see where we can grab some power to sort that issue out. Power down here perhaps. Yep, that has power. Some long poles. There we go. So this looks fine, other than the fact that we don't have these guys in place yet. So instead of 200 iron ore, you need to be 200 copper ore. And we need to do the same to the plate and just copy it across. So I think we've probably done enough for this episode, though. You don't actually need to see me make a blueprint of that. These ones are currently 4,000 iron plate. Let's make that 4,000 copper plate. That actually seems to be a bit excessive. I might have to change that to a lower number, but in any event, thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And we should have this up and running, and next time we should be launching those fusion reactors. So see you then, guys. Bye bye for now.